Edinburgh, ancient, mysterious. The air itself thrums with untold stories, whispers of a dark and haunted past. Nowhere is this more palpable than within the hallowed grounds of Greyfriars Kirkyard. This cemetery, a sprawling necropolis in the heart of the city, is a place where the veil between our world and the next wears thin. Among the crooked headstones and crumbling mausoleums, shadows move unseen, and the air crackles with a palpable energy. This is a place where history sleeps, and nightmares awaken. Centuries of life and death have seeped into the very stones of Greyfriars, imbuing it with a melancholic beauty and an unsettling aura. It is a place of deep sorrow and quiet contemplation, a place where the living come to pay their respects to the departed, and where some say the dead refuse to depart. Among the countless souls said to wander these grounds, one stands out in the annals of terror, the Headless Man of Greyfriars. His legend is whispered on the wind that sighs through the ancient trees, a chilling tale of betrayal, violence, and the restless dead. The story of the Headless Man is deeply entwined with one of the most turbulent periods in Scottish history, the Wars of the Three Kingdoms. In the mid-17th century, Scotland was embroiled in a bitter conflict, torn apart by religious and political strife. It was a time of great upheaval and bloodshed, a time when loyalties were tested and lives were cut brutally short. It was during this tumultuous era that the seeds of our ghostly tale were sown. Legend has it that our protagonist was a nobleman, a proud and powerful figure in the court of King Charles I. A staunch royalist, he fought fiercely for the crown, his name whispered in hushed tones both on the battlefield and in the halls of power. But as with all wars, the tides of fortune were fickle, and the royalist cause began to crumble. Betrayal reared its ugly head, and our nobleman, once a respected figure, found himself on the wrong side of the axe. Accused of treason, stripped of his rank and titles, the nobleman was condemned to die. His execution was swift and brutal, his head severed from his body on a blood-soaked scaffold erected within the confines of Greyfriars Kirkyard. The crowd, a mix of gawkers and grief-stricken loyalists, watched in morbid fascination as the executioner held aloft the nobleman's severed head, his lifeless eyes staring into eternity. With his body buried in an unmarked grave and his head tossed carelessly into a common pit, the nobleman was left to the mercy of time and the elements. But something refused to let him rest. Perhaps it was the injustice of his death, the brutality of his execution, or the indignity of being forgotten, but his spirit clung fiercely to the mortal realm, unable or unwilling to find peace. Section 4. The Headless Horror. As darkness descends upon Greyfriars Kirkyard, casting long and eerie shadows across the ancient tombstones, a chill wind whips through the grounds, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and the faintest hint of decay. It is on nights like these, when the moon hangs heavy in the sky and the living dare not tread, that the Headless Man makes his presence known. Those unfortunate souls who have crossed paths with the spectral figure describe an overwhelming sense of dread, a bone-chilling coldness that seeps into their very marrow. They speak of a towering silhouette cloaked in the darkness, its form shifting and swirling like smoke in the wind. But most terrifying of all is the absence where the head should be, a gaping void framed by the ragged remnants of his collar. Section 5. The search continues. Driven by an insatiable desire to reclaim what was taken from him, the Headless Man roams the darkened pathways of Greyfriars, his spectral hands reaching out into the night. Some believe he searches for his lost head, desperate to reunite his soul and find eternal rest. Others whisper that he seeks vengeance against those who wronged him in life, his anger and resentment echoing through the centuries. Whatever his motives, the Headless Man's presence casts a long shadow over Greyfriars Kirkyard. His legend serves as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most peaceful of places, and the restless spirits that may walk among us, forever bound to the sins of the past. Section 6. An Eternal Enigma. The Headless Man of Greyfriars remains an enigma, a chilling figure of folklore and fear. Is he merely a product of overactive imaginations fueled by centuries of ghost stories and the oppressive atmosphere of the graveyard, or is there something more to the legend, a kernel of truth that continues to haunt this ancient burial ground? The answer, like the Headless Man himself, remains shrouded in mystery. But one thing is certain, the legend of the Headless Man continues to captivate and terrify, a testament to the enduring power of ghost stories and the unsettling possibility that some wounds, even time, cannot heal. And so, the Headless Man remains a part of Greyfriars Kirkyard's grim tapestry, his story interwoven with the very fabric of this historic and haunted place.